Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Houston Oilers and the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves in New Era Field in Orchard Park. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Oilers and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Quickly now, here's the Buffalo offense.
In the NFL, we love to talk about bloodlines and how important they can be. And for Zay Jones, he's got a terrific one. His dad, Robert, longtime linebacker in the NFL, big time with the Dallas Cowboys. And his uncle, Jeff Blake, a starting quarterback in the NFL at one point. Wonder if he played catch with Uncle Jeff in the backyard a few times growing up.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line. 53. 53. 66. Pull it high.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead. And we roll now on the graphics for the offensive starters.
Let's take a look at the left tackle, Taylor Lewan. A big, gregarious guy with great athletic ability. Plays the game with a little bit of an edge. In fact, he doesn't play to the whistle. He plays to the echo of the whistle.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. This is how they'll line up on the defensive side for Buffalo. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Lawrence, caught by Sanu. And down he'll go at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Jarrell Casey doesn't get the attention that he deserves, but he is an absolutely terrific defensive tackle, the best player on just about any team he would play on.
Slay 19!
4 down, check.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Check cross. Watch the edge.
They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. And this will be incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Throwing is Allen on third. And that is incomplete.
So we have to remember this offensive unit, they've been off for the last 2 weeks. Had an open week, and so it might take them a little while to get back into rhythm. I know they worked hard to try and get past that in practice, but practice isn't game speed.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the yards, brings up third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Bills getting set to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To the air, Allen. Open man is Higgins. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. Well, how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. Now Allen. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Jarrell Casey. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Allen now looks to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Allen to throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You got nothing today. You got nothing. Check nickel. Nice.
12 yards there and a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence. It's caught on the right side at Smith. Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And an alley to run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check Mike 20. I got him. Check 24. Check it.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
On first down, Allen looking middle, and it's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Round 80!
Right there in the middle, 55. Watch your slap, watch your slap.
They'll look to run with Edwards. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well. On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt.
So we got man.
Here we go.
Allen going to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
Good job.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Dan Bailey now for the field goal try.
A 27-yard attempt.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw. Lawrence connects with Sanu right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Throwing now is Allen. And that's complete to Croft. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Allen's throw caught by Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And from down in Miami, an update. And the Texans, they have scored again and moved in front by a couple of touchdowns. Deshaun Watson with one touchdown pass thus far. They'll run on first down. It's Hunt. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. I thought he had the angle along that sideline. Didn't quite get there, though.
Didn't quite get there, but they did keep him from getting into the end zone. Now when you look down and line up on defense, you see the goal line beneath your feet. If that doesn't motivate you to play harder, I don't know what will.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Allen to throw it. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyler Croft, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills will extend their lead. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with a touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead grows to 10-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 25 yards that time. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. To throw from his end zone. Lawrence. It's caught. Smith. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, and they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets, and they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Sam Darnold has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. And they'll start the drive here with an end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That really sets them back. A loss of 6. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Lawrence into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
On first down, Hunt slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Look out. 2 times. 4 down. Watch it.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll take it Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10.
Ready up. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On second down now. It's White, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. Back now comes the offense. Madden spotlight time as we shine it on Josh Allen. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the 1st.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st down, they go right back to Hunt. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
That 2nd down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and then they got 3rd and short.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. A carry here for Hunt. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Allen's throw is complete, and they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Allen off the play fake. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. That'll be taken in by Beasley. Touchdown, Buffalo. Cole Beasley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Barely got the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 1st down, they go option to the right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Back now in Buffalo. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Let's go now. 70, Indy.
Oh, yeah.
Fight.
Off the bootleg, Lawrence. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. This offense so far on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, Lawrence. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Allen. It's caught. Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Hunt. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Let's go!
And now out comes Houston. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They start the drive with White, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On the ready.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an intercept.
Pressure comes, and the Bills block it. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember.
So when I look at the scoreboard, and realize they just blocked a punt with that type of a lead, how much of that was a called punt block or how much of it was a breakdown, you think, by the team punting the ball?
You got to think a breakdown, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think someone just didn't fulfill their assignment and end up now in even worse position.
And now you can start the buses. I would say it's safe, right?
Rev them up, baby.
If they weren't started already. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You better be ready next time.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Check three.
Caught on the right side by Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You got it.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this?
So the shotgun snap to Allen. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that's off the mark. Incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we've just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Come on, fellas.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
Hey, let's go.
Call it a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down. 2nd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way. Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't.
Trying for Brown, and I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
The previous play is under review.
The tackle occurred in the end zone. Result of the play is a safety.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. To return is McKenzie. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a hole.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for Buffalo, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.